Hey everybody, so back here one more time with another video. This time I want to talk about one of my favorite new games that I just can't stop playing. I love it, it's great, it's fun. It's King of Tokyo. If you're a gamer, you're familiar with a man named Richard Garfield because he created Magic the Gathering, which has become a worldwide sensation. Well, he also created this game, King of Tokyo, which has won multiple awards, including the Golden Geek Awards for Best Children's Game, Best Family Game, Best Party Game, the Dice Tower Award of 2011 for Best Family Game, etc., etc. It just won a ridiculous amount of awards. King of Tokyo, the way it works is you play a monster who is attacking Tokyo. Simple enough. It's a pressure luck dice game that has a couple of different aspects to it, which I will get to here in just a moment. First off, you will have a character cut out. There's one for each character, and in the base game there are 6 different characters you can choose from. You will have stands for said character, little plastic ones that you can put your character into for sitting on the board, which work thusly. And you have your board, which your character goes onto if you decide to invade Tokyo. You have acrylic green little energy cubes. You have power-up cards. And last but certainly not least, you have a whole bunch of dice with different symbols on them. Basically, the way it works is this. Oh, and you also have tokens that correspond to some of the power-up cards. Basically, the way the game works. Everyone starts outside of Tokyo. No one starts inside of Tokyo. On your turn, you roll the dice. And you're looking at several symbols. You have numbers, which correspond to victory points. If you have to have at least 3 numbers that match, and if they do, then that's how many victory points you earn. For every additional one on top of that, you earn another victory point. You have claws, which correspond to damage doing to other monsters that are also trying to get into Tokyo. You have energy symbols, the lightning bolts, that correspond to the energy cubes that I was talking about before. And last, you have hearts, which is so you can heal yourself. On your card, you will see that you have stars. Stars correspond to your victory points. How many stars you have is how many victory points you have. So you start at 0, and you go on up until you win at 20. Okay? Down here in the corner is your health. Everyone starts health at 10. If you can get above 10 with some of the power-up cards, if you ever go below 1, obviously you're dead and you're out of the game. The way it works is when you roll your dice, the first person that gets a claw on a die and decides to keep that die goes into Tokyo. You're now rampaging through Tokyo, killing, pillaging, stomping on buildings, knocking things over, setting things on fire, etc., etc., etc. When you go into Tokyo, you earn a victory point. If you begin your turn in Tokyo, you earn 2 victory points. However, while you are in Tokyo, if you roll claws, it does damage to everyone outside of Tokyo. But everyone outside of Tokyo, on their turn, if they roll claws, it does damage only to you and not to them. While in Tokyo, you are not eligible to use hearts to heal. You're too busy eating city goers and whatnot and destroying buildings to stop and heal yourself. So being in Tokyo earns you lots and lots of victory points quickly, but it also earns you the wrath of everyone outside of Tokyo by having them attack you and you not being able to heal yourself. When outside of Tokyo, when you roll those claws, as I mentioned, it does hurt the person in or the monster in Tokyo. Um, Basically, you're looking to earn energy to buy some of these power-up cards. Some of them are really honestly quite nice. Um, I'm looking at something here. The evacuation orders card is 7 of the energy cubes, and the ability is when you discard this card after you purchase it, all other monsters currently in the game lose 5 victory points. The Metamorph card costs 3 energy cubes, and you keep it in front of you, and you get its ability consistently as long as you still have this card in your possession. At the end of your turn, you can discard any cards that have that capability on them to recoup whatever. Anyway, their cost in energy cubes. There's lots of things here. Um, Anytime you're in Tokyo, you can choose to yield to someone doing damage to you just by saying, listen, I back off, you take the damage that they deal, and they in turn are forced to take Tokyo in your stead. Trying to think if I'm missing anything. I don't believe I am. That's pretty much the game, honestly. You start with 3 of the power-up cards laying out on the table. You can spin cubes to empty them and refill them with new ones. You can buy them and kind of just power up your guy until you're uber powerful. You can just sit there and sit in Tokyo, take damage, and just pile on the victory points, hoping that you can pile them on faster and people can hurt you. Or you can just go with the tactic that you're just going to kill everyone. That sometimes works too. It's not really the best tactic. It's harder to do because you have to do enough damage to everyone at the same time, so you can sort of sit in Tokyo and just hope to kill everyone. It's a pressure luck game in the idea, just like Yahtzee. You roll your dice and you can re-roll them twice, like in Yahtzee. So say you roll your dice. Right now I have 2 threes, 2 hearts, a 1, and an energy symbol. All right. If I were in Tokyo, I'm obviously not keeping the hearts because they don't do anything for me. I'm going for victory points probably while I'm in Tokyo, so I probably want to keep those 3s to try to get the victory points faster than everyone else can hurt me. Energy cubes might help, especially if there's something out there that I'm interested in. So I might be interested in keeping that one. But the 1 victory point die doesn't really do anything for me either. So I'm going to re-roll those 3. I got another heart. That, again, doesn't do anything for me. I got another energy cube, and I got a 3. So now I have 3 victory points out of that roll. I have 1 more re-roll. Do I really want those energy cubes? Is there anything out there that I want? Or do I want to try to get some more victory points out of the 3s? I think I'm going for the victory points. I'm going to get rid of the energy cubes and re-roll again. And sure enough, I just rolled 2 more 3s. So that means I got a total of 5 victory points out of that roll. So if I'm in Tokyo, I got 2 at the beginning of my turn, just for virtue of being in Tokyo. Plus I just got 5 more. So that's 7 victory points in 1 turn. When your goal is 20, that's a huge turn. So it's the kind of like the pressure luck. Do I want to try for more? Is that going to work for me? Maybe you roll and you don't roll any 3s and you roll a whole bunch of claws. Well, maybe this time instead of aiming to see, I got 2 3s and 4 claws right there. Let's say instead of going for the victory points this turn, I want to try to hurt people instead and see if I can get them out of the game. So I'll re-roll. Look, I just got another claw and another 3. So re-roll that 3. I got a heart. Doesn't do anything for me. So 5 damage to everyone else. When everyone else's damage is at 10 or starts at 10, that 2 turns of that and everyone's dead. So that's another possibility in the game. You're really just sort of pressing your luck as to what you're going to get on those dice. Yes, there's a lot of luck in this game. Absolutely. Without a doubt. It's not a Euro-style game where there's really a whole ton of strategy. There is strategy. There is definitely strategy to the game with that push-your-luck aspect. Do I want to go for killing people? Do I want to go for victory points? Do I want to go for buffing myself? Do I want to go for hurting other people in terms of their victory points using some of the power-up cards? What do I want to do? Lots of different decisions to be made in the game, but it is definitely fun. It is addicting beyond belief. You're never, ever going to forget King of Tokyo. See you guys next time.